All right. So we're going to talk about probability this week. And we're going to also talk about converting units. But that doesn't have a quiz with it. So it's something I just want you to know and to be able to memorize. So probability basically has one thing that's important to know. It's basically, oh, I just drug everything over. You guys, that probably didn't drag it over for you. It just drug it over for me. Probability just has one thing to know. In terms of what it is. So probability, oh no, oh gosh, I need to just give up. That is spelled so wrong. I'm embarrassed. All right. Probability. This is the number of ways an event can happen over the total number of possible outcomes. Brilliant, right? All right. Number of ways an event can happen over the total number of possible outcomes. So what does this mean? That's a really weird thing. Like number of ways an event can happen. What that means is like when we're interested in something, how many things we're interested can happen and how many total things can happen. Let's look at the most simple thing. Let's think about flipping a coin. You've got either heads, although there aren't heads, aren't coins with smiley faces on them, or tails. I'm going to draw a tail on this one. Heads or tails. Although that also kind of looks like a lobster claw or something. You got heads or tails on a coin. So say you're interested in heads. There's one possible outcome that you're interested in. Interested in, if you're interested in heads, and there are two total outcomes. This is kind of a hard thing to put into words, but it's easy to understand. It's like love. You can't really put love into words, but you understand it when you experience it. That's what probability is like. It's like love in that way. We got to say what we're interested in and then how many total things. Or let's talk about rolling a dice. Let's talk about a dice. How many sides does a dice have? Most of the time, 6. There are 6 things you can roll. And let's say we're interested in rolling a 3. So let's say rolling a 3. Well, that's one of the outcomes. So you have a 1 out of 6 of rolling a 3. And now what do we call that? We call that a chance, like a 1 out of 6 chance. So how can we say probability? I'm going to type this. How can we describe probability? Well, it's the same as what we talked about near the start of class when we talked about fractions and everything. We can talk about as a fraction, a decimal, or a percent. Make this bigger. So we can describe probability in these 3 ways: a fraction, a decimal, or a percent. So let's talk about flipping a coin again. I gotta get back to drawing. So a coin, and let's say we want to talk about tails. Let's talk about it as a fraction. It would be 1 over 2. If we talk about it as a decimal, it'd be 0.5. If we talk about it as a percent, it'd be 50%. So those are the ways we can talk about fractions. So I've got a problem we're going to practice together in my book of problems. So here's the first problem. What is the probability of rolling an even number on a regular six-sided die? All right, this is a bit more difficult because it's not just like the probability rolling a six. Probability rolling an even number. Even number means you can divide it by two. Let's look at the sides of a dice there are one, two. Actually, let's do it this way to be more visual. There's the one side, there's the two side, there's I think the threes are like this. Maybe they're not. There's the four side. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a test of if I ever look at dice, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then finally, you've got the six-sided dice. Now, how many of these are even? Even, even, even. So the probability is 3 over 6. And we can simplify that. We can simplify probabilities just like we can simplify any fraction. Divide by 3 is 1 over 2. That's the probability of rolling an even number on a regular dice. Let's talk about some marble problems. I'm going to have a bag of marbles, and in my bag of marbles, I'm going to have, I've got a bag of 20 marbles, all right? I'm gonna have 4 green, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna write G. Actually, let me get really creative. You guys are gonna be so impressed. In my bag of marbles, I'm gonna work really hard at this, okay? So you guys have to try hard, okay? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 green marbles, all right? And then we've got, then we have 5 blue marbles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to have 1 red marble. Then we're going to have 10 yellow marbles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Who says you have to be able to count to tutor math? 9, 10. So we have 20 marbles, and then these are the ones, the colors. So let me write this out. I'm gonna write for, oh, I don't want to write in blue. Let's erase that. Let's write out 4 green, 10 yellow, 5 blue, 1 red. Now I'm going to ask all of you, what is the probability? And I don't think I can open a quiz that doesn't let me see if I can do all right. All right. What is the chance of pulling a all right. So now I'm going to ask you all this. All right. So what is the probability of pulling a blue marble out? So you can do it as a fraction, you can do it as decimal, you can do it as a percent. I'm just going to ask that you reduce it, whatever you do. You got to think about how many total you have, total options you have, and then how many you're interested in. All right. I've got one answer. Waiting for some more. Go ahead and submit your, take a guess at it, okay? Got two. I'm gonna end it in 15 seconds, okay? Got three. Got one more person I'm waiting on. I'm gonna end it in 5 and end. All right. So my, oh, I gotta get into, 1 minute, I gotta get logged into Zoom to look at what you all answered. That's interesting. So we'll be there. All right. Sorry, I gotta log in to see what you answered. All right, so I have 2 1 out of 4s. I have 1 9. So let's talk about what it is. So we want to know probability. The probability of pulling a blue out. Now we have 20 total. Now blue is what we're interested in, and there are 5. So 5 out of 20 is the answer for that one. And we would actually reduce it. We would divide both sides by 5 for the top and bottom by 5, and we would get 1 out of 4. So that's the right answer. Good. 2 or 3 of you got it. Let's I'm going to edit this one. Well, I think I might. It's gonna make me create a new one. I'm not gonna do that. All right, so now what I'm gonna ask you to do, just send it to me in a private message. That's easier. I'm gonna erase a lot of this that I did so that you can see what is the probability of pulling a red marble out. Now I want you to try a red marble, all right? So send it to me as a private message. I got one message in.
Sorry, Eli, I'm at the laundromat. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's a good place to be. You mean you're not able to do them when you're there?
I'm listening. It's just kind of hard for me to write on paper. My mom
Got you.
sent me. Yeah, my mom sent me to the laundromat.
Okay, no problem. Let's just go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and work it. So let's look at this. So total number possible. Total number possible are 20. And of the red, there's a 1. So 1 over 20 is the probability. If we wanted to make that a percent, it would be 5%. But let's stick with the fraction. So 1 over 20. Let's talk about pulling a yellow marble out. So similarly, send me I can just delete them like this, but this is easier. Similarly, send me what you think yellow is in a private chat. I want to make sure we understand how to do this basic probability stuff because we're going to add some twists to it in a minute. And I want to make sure we're comfortable before we start that, okay? All right, we've got answers in right. So everyone's getting it right. Good. You guys are getting the hang of it. Good. Now I'm going to make this a bit harder. I'm going to make this a bit harder, but I think you guys can do it. You pull out 2 yellow marbles. Now, what is the probability of pulling out a green marble? Now let's try this one. Take a try at it, and if you can't, not sure where to start, I'll work it. This is a twist on this kind of problem.
Eli, did you tell everybody to leave?
No, I don't know why they did.
I was about to say, like, where did everybody go?
It was like 3 people all at once. I don't know why.
Yeah.
All right, let's I've got 2 answers in. I got 1 answer in. So let me explain this. So we pull out 2 yellow marbles. Now all of a sudden, in this situation, we have 8 yellow, we have 4 green, we have 5 blue, and we have 1 red. So we have 18 total because we lost 2 of our yellows and we still have 4 green. So now our 4/18 is our probability. If we reduce that, we can divide both sides by 2. 18 divided, or the top and bottom by 2. And we'll get 2/9. So 2/9 will be our probability. I know that one was kind of hard because it was new. I'm going to erase all that. Now we're back to our 20 marble bag. Pretend we're back to our 20 marble bag, okay? Back to our 20 marble bag. And now, you pull out the red marble and the green marbles. Now what is the probability of pulling out a blue marble? So you pull out the red marble and the green marbles. Now what is the probability of pulling out a blue marble? All right, anyone taking a shot at it? All right, let me explain it then. All right, so we have our marbles, then we lost our marbles. We now have 10 yellow, just gonna do a Y. And we have 5 blue. So what's probably a pulling a blue marble? We have 15 marbles. And we're interested in the 5 blue. So we can simplify this to, if we divide by 5, 1/3. We can simplify that to 1/3. So last one, I'm gonna try like this. Or actually, I'm gonna work through this one because this is a different one. All right. What is the chance of not drawing a red marble? Well, no, we want the chance of not drawing a red marble. So to get that, we're going to add up the other ones, 4 plus 10 plus 5, and then there are 20 total. So we get 19/20. So there are some problems with marbles. I feel like those are very helpful for learning how to do these types of problems, honestly. So let's move on now to this problem. You have a bag of 3 red balls, 4 black balls, and 2 green balls. What is the probability of not getting a red ball? All right, now I want all of you to try this one. And then I'll work through it. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to try this one, okay? Send it to me in a private chat when you've tried it. All right, I've got one answer in. Probability of not getting a red ball. All right, gonna give you 30 more seconds. All right. All right, let's talk about it. So how many balls total are there? There are 3 plus 4 plus 2. That is 9. Now, what is the probability of not getting a red ball? Well, it's 4 and 2. 4 plus 2 over 9. It is 6 over 9 because there are 3 red, 4 black, and 2 green. So we can divide each of these by 3. 2 over 3. Several of you answered 1/3. That's the probability of getting a red ball, but we're interested in the probability of not getting a red ball. We don't want to draw a red ball, so we have to look at the probabilities of getting the other ones to get the right answer. Now, I got a question for you. You have a jar with 10 oranges. Can't spell probability. All right. All right. Try to send this to me in a DM. Try this one out, okay? This one's actually simple. It might look weird, but it's simple on purpose. All right, I got one answer. Anyone else? One out of 9. All right. So the answer is 1 because there are 10 pieces of fruit and all 10 are oranges. So it's 1. A probability of 1 means it's 100% sure to happen. If I have a jar of fruit and there are only oranges in it and I just pull one out, it's guaranteed to be an orange. So the answer is 10 out of 10 or 1. Now we're going to talk about 2 situations that are very important to know how to do. Probability of and then let me do another one. Probability of, or. And so I just want you to write this down first. You add probability of or, you multiply. Now write those down. While you're doing that, I'm going to pull down my beautiful marble thing. If I can, yeah. while you're doing that, I'm gonna pull this down. My marbles again. Sorry, I messed that up badly. Everything I said to write down, don't do. I messed that up very badly. Probability of or you add, probability of and you multiply. Everyone have that? Sorry. Switch that on your paper, okay? I'm going to talk about what it means. I'm going to go over it again. Since I wrote it wrong, it's recording. That's very embarrassing. If I didn't, if I wasn't old and tired, I'd be so embarrassed I'd never show up for math class again after that mistake, because that's like one of the big points of the lesson. So the probability of or, what does that mean? It means if we say we want to do the probability of doing one thing or another. So let's say the probability of a blue or red marble. Well, in that case, we need to say the probability of a blue marble is 5/20. The probability of a red marble is 1/20. So the probability of them together is 6/20. We add because it's probability or. Now, probability of and is much harder. Probability, that did not get spelled right. Probability or something. Probability of a blue and red marble. Well, now we have to multiply the chances together. 5/20 times 1/20 equals 5/400. Because 20 times 20 is 400. When we divide both of these by 5, 400 divided by 5 is 80, I believe. Let's check that. 400 divided by 5, 8, 40, 0, 0, 80. Yep. We get 1/80. So the probability of drawing a blue marble and a red marble is 1/80. So that's assuming though, we draw the blue marble, then we put it back in the bag. If we take it out, then we have to make the chances different. So the probability of drawing a blue marble first and then a red marble is 1/80. But the probability of drawing either a blue marble or a red marble is 6/20. When we have the probability of doing one thing or another, we add. When the probability of doing both one thing and the other thing, we multiply. When we add, it makes the chances bigger. When we multiply, it makes the chances smaller. That's because when you multiply fractions, they get smaller. Let's try this one. This is a hard one, but I think it's good. Rolling a standard die and then selecting a card from a standard deck that is less than the value rolled. Rolling a let's see. I'm going to make this easier because to do this the long way is rolling a 2, a 4 on a standard die, and then selecting a card from our standard deck that is less than the value rolled. So first we need to say, what is the chance of rolling a 4 on a standard die? It is 1/6. That's the chance of rolling a 4. Now, how many cards are in a standard deck? There are 52 cards. Did you know that? There are 13 in each suit because there goes 1 ace to 10, then Jack, Queen, King. So 52. Who said this class won't help you in Vegas? So 52. Now, what is the chance of selecting a card less than the value rolled? Now, this is a bit hard because you got to think about how many numbers there are less than 4. Well, and we're not going to count aces. So of the hearts, there's a 2 and a 3. Of these things, that one's spades. No, that one's clubs. Sorry. There's a 2 and a 3. Of the spades, there's a 2 and a 3. Of the diamonds, I'm just going to draw one diamond, even though you know I draw more. There's a 2 and a 3. So we see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 over 52. Chance of 8 over 52. Now I'm going to go a little lower. 1 over 6 times 8 over 52 equals 8. Now we got to go 52 times 6. 12, 1, 30 plus a 1, 312. My goodness, we get 8 over 312. Let's divide these by 2. We get 312 divided by 2. 2 goes into 31 15 times. 30. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 150 equals 4 over 156. Let me divide both of these by 2. $156 divided by 2 is 7, 4, 1, 6, 8. So we get 2 over 78. Almost there. Now we can divide it by 2 again. 78 divided by 2 is the answer here ends up being 1 over 39 is the probability of rolling both a 4 and then a number less than 4. That was very long and complicated, I know. But that's probability. I tried to work a lot of different kinds of questions, give you the chance to practice some. Only one quiz this week. Take a break after this. I'm going to post this quiz or post this lesson on YouTube. When you wake up in the morning, unless you wake up at like 6 a.m., you'll see the canvas for the week posted.